Good day, everyone. Last week I did a blend in Rhino to try and blend this together, and I figured I'd give it a try in SolidWorks as well, and I believe the result is pretty good. I am going to use both GeometryWorks3D and XNurbs. I think you can probably do it with normal SolidWorks tools. It's just easier to get a good result with the help of GW3D and XNurbs. We can't use exactly the same workflow. If you haven't seen the Rhino video, check out the Rhino video, because in the Rhino video we do blends and then we match afterwards, and there is no equivalent to match surface in SolidWorks. So let's see how it goes. The basic setup is the same, and I'm not going to go over how I modeled this. Like, if you're looking into a blending video, you should be able to do a couple extrusions and splits and get to this point. So the GeometryWorks3D has a blend surface very similar to the Rhino one. So you pick an edge and then pick another edge, and then we're going to use surfaces for our tangency control. You have different options here, but because we have surfaces, we can use surfaces. Now, this is not the result that we're looking for, and I've found that in this case, G3, which is flow, which gives you 3 control points that are aligned, is the best result, and I am going to set the scale factor to 1.2. If we preview that, that gives me that smooth blend that stays relatively close to this center line. G3 1.2, I'm not changing the curvature control. You can change the acceleration of the control points coming out of the surface, but I'm going to leave that at default 0.9. So that's our first blend surface. And let's do another one. Select that edge, and then same thing. We're going to use surfaces for our tangency control. These guys, and we want to do the same thing. We want G3, 1.2, 1.2. This is basically to make sure that they're identical. I could have mirrored it over, but this is an easy way to do this. And so the next thing, I want to blend in between this surface and in between that surface, and I want to blend from the center of this guy and then find the theoretical intersection that gives me a natural blend. And so the easiest way, I think, features, reference geometry, is to add a couple points here, just evenly distributed. Another one over there. Oh, that one's there. Turn on the points and add another one on this guy. Okay, so now I have some points that I can reference, and then on the front plane, I'm going to make a sketch with some reference geometry. So I'm going to snap to that. I want that to be horizontal. Snap to that. I want that to be horizontal. These guys I want to be equal. So that's going to give me that natural intersection of the theoretical sharp. Those I want perpendicular to the edge. It will allow me to select it. There we go. These we want coincident, and that should fully constrain these guys. Didn't do what I wanted to do. Coincident. So now this is fully constrained. I want to split these, and there is ways to bring back the splits. I'm not going to worry about that for the video. This is just a kind of a quick and dirty way to get me where I want to go. So I'm going to leave these unconstrained, actually. It's not picking up that tangent. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now I have with this sketch, I can split this guy, and this guy, and that'll give me split edges, because there is no equivalent to split edge in SolidWorks. So surfaces, split, current sketch, this guy, and this guy, okay? And we can get them back if we want to at a later point. But now I have this edge and this edge that will create a very natural blend between this edge and this edge. And we're going to create a couple curves. And GeometryWorks3D has a huge amount of curve options, blend curve options. And you know, since I've already played for this in preparation for the video, I found that in this case, a row blended curve gives me a really good result. This is a conic, and I think one of the reasons this is a good result is because, you know, this is a circle, which is essentially a special case of a conic, and so you get this really smooth transition between the two guys. So I'm going to accept that, turn on my curve so I can actually see them, and then we're going to do the same over here, from there to there, from there to there, and accept that row blend again, and final one from there to there, and from there to there. And that should put us in pretty good shape to blend this all together. Now I'm going to use XNurbs to blend it together. And because these are circular surfaces, I'm just going to use tangency. If we use curvature, it's going to try to dip in, and we don't want that. And so we're just going to use tangency at this edge, that edge, that edge. Accept the preview, show preview, optimize for quad. Yes, that's what I want. And I've played around with these settings. I go over that in some of my other videos, but after playing around and looking at the zebra stripes and the curvature, this gives me a pretty good result. So I'm just going to accept that for now for the sake of moving things along. I'm going to do the same over here, tangency for that guy, this guy, and that guy. That automatically defaults to contact because it's obviously a curve. Those are tangent, accept that. Third one, this guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy, okay? And, you know, as with the Rhino, you'd never want to patch over something like this. This would lead to a whole bunch of control points being bunched up in this area, and you'll never get good curvature continuity through here. So instead, we're going to create another blend curve from there to there, from there to there. And with this, we're going to use least tension. Actually, I think we can do row. Let's try row. Sometimes if you don't have the right settings, you'll cut off some of this edge and you won't be able to blend. I think when I tried previously, I tried least tension, but I actually think that the row option should work as well. So let's just see. If not, we can go back and change it. So now I'm going to create a fence surface that's basically, I'm selecting, that's another GeometryWorks3D feature. You basically select a curve and a face, and then you can select either normal or tangent, and you can offset in, you know, one direction or two directions, and it basically creates a cut surface so that we can trim this back. Surfaces. Trim surface, we're going to go with this guy. Keep selections is fine. That's the one we want to keep. Turn off my curves, hide that, exit isolate. And so now we're set up to do this final blend. And I'm going to use XNurbs for this because I think it creates by far the best surface. You can do this with like the boundary feature or surface fill or whatever you have available. You can apply this technique and the sort of blending and trimming with standard SolidWorks features. I just find it easier and faster, and I get better results with the help of GeometryWorks3D and XNurbs. So for this final one, we're going to use XNurbs as well. So tangent, so we have this is an arc profile. While this is not an arc profile, it's basically a straight edge, and so we want to just have one control point matching up. So we're going to go tangent to this, because in essence, we have a straight line going through here, and with curvature, it's going to dip in, and we don't want that. So we're going to do tangency, and then these, we want curvature. So I'm going to bump that up to curvature, and I'm going to bump that up to curvature. So just double check that I have everything right. edge 1 tangent, edge 2 tangent, edge 3 curvature, edge 4 curvature, show preview. There's my preview, and you can already see that I've got this nice flow in this direction, nice flow in this direction, and this looks pretty clean. I'm going to accept the same settings, hit accept. And so now we have this created this nice blend in between. We have a really natural blend here, and if we turn on the zebra stripes, the main thing I'm trying to achieve is that you have this straight round surface, and I want this to sort of flow into the other blend, and I've achieved that. If you follow this highlight, you'll see that like it's perfectly following the circle here, and then it starts to bow out and gets accelerated as it approaches this, and then it blends into that sort of center line, and we have nice curvature through here as well. Now the one thing, you know, this was a quick and dirty, obviously. I lost my color. I don't know what happened there. Let's get that back. I like modeling in this blue color. If you wanted these to be not split just for sake of cleanliness, you can go back to before you split, and then we can say offset surface 0. Offset these guys. Okay, so now I've offset them before the split feature, so let's hide them. And then we roll back to our blend. So now I can go in and say I want to get rid of these guys, and then show my offset. And I didn't model the other side. If I mirror this over, we should be able to knit this together and create a solid out of that. Actually, I haven't tried that with the previous version as well, so let's see if that actually works. Mirror face is going to be front. I want to mirror bodies. This guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy. Yep. Okay. Surfaces, knit surface. Okay. And so now we should be able to thicken that guy up into that direction. Let's do 2 millimeters. And we have a solid. Oh, it's funny. It actually knitted all the, because we had, these guys were, that's actually a really interesting result. It merged the surfaces that were split before. Let me roll that back. So these guys were all merged together. Wasn't expecting that result because I hadn't tried it before, but there you have it. Hope this is helpful. And also I wanted to say that I've done a few blends for people that have reached out to me after I posted videos. And if you have a particular problem that, that you're struggling with, feel free to contact me and send me a file. Not saying I'm able to solve everything, but if I can, I'd be willing to take a look at it, see what solution I can come up with, and see if it's helpful for you. All right, thanks, and see you in the next one.